I'm Fahad Asbe, here to solve my first case. I named this case The Mystery Within the Apostle Valley. I'm still an amateur detective, so I don't know that much about professional detective work. Based on the report, it seems that the Apostle Valley has encountered a strange phenomenon revolving around the sudden incident of people, locals mysteriously losing their minds to the point where deaths are starting to occur. This case may seem hard, but I will try my best to solve this case. Although the train to Apostle Valley is a long trip, so maybe I should read a book or two. Here. It's called A Detective 101 Coffee Detective. I've heard this book has some good reviews on it, despite it being a parody of some sort. I'll give it a try since I'm still an amateur detective.
Hello, fellow readers. I am your cocky detective, the master of fine detective arts. Or was it detective fine arts? I don't know.
What the? What are you?
I said that I am the cocky detective.
Huh? How is this book moving?
Please calm down. I know detectives are always under a lot of pressure, but you're a different one.
Okay, but why are you suddenly talking to me in a book?
Didn't you say that you're an amateur detective? You'll need some lessons, boy. Let me present. Good day, my fellow amateur detectives, and for today's detective lesson, we'll be talking about exemplification. A detective needs their way of gathering intel and processing their information, and familiar detective questions can arise while during your investigations. This is issue 322, talking about exemplification. So, what is an exemplification? It is the concept of providing, listing, enumerating, or giving examples to a particular topic. And how is this important in the field of detective work, you may ask? During your investigations, you may encounter situations where you'll need to analyze your scenario, and some examples are listing possible reasons of a motive or finding reasons why the past is in the present would hide something very vital. And it's not just in detective work, but also in our everyday lives, like the different kinds of snacks and foods in a party, or a list of K-pop groups under a certain genre.
Okay, I can see your point about exemplification being beneficial, but I can't really say for sure on what exemplification is necessary during a certain scenario. Like solving a case is just straight to the point. Solving them, done. No need for exemplification or whatever you just said.
Whoa, no wonder you're an amateur detective.
Huh? What do you mean?
Fellow detective, are you aware that not every case is the same old thing? Sometimes it can get deeper than that, you know. That's why we'll be proceeding to the different techniques in giving examples. Then you'll see the reason. So anyways, we'll be going through the different topics in giving examples or exemplification. Remember, examples are used to support the main topic, and sometimes we would provide examples that may or may not be interesting or useful to the person. But that's okay in certain topics, of course. The first technique is through visual illustrations, where they use the eyes to analyze pictures. Here is an illustration. Flip to the next page for it, of course. Here are some examples that a crime is committed here. Broken windows, stolen items, weapons found, the deceased, etc. It's all based on visualizing, like through a picture. The second technique is through facts, whether they use common knowledge or known facts. For example, explain why the killing is recent. Some would say that the blood of the victim is still fresh, and a possibility that the culprit is still inside the building because they are locked in. It's mostly based on the scenario you are in. The third technique is through anecdotes, though through which means to support the intended topic. Like what's happening in the situation right now. In your case files, they stated that they require investigating because of a mysterious behavior. Well, that's it. Your main idea is the mysterious behavior. And since it's their own experience written down, you can assume that there is something wrong. On the other hand, with the fourth technique is details, which is explaining deeper into the idea of something and making it specific. Like what's happening in this situation right now. You can hear here to solve a mystery behind Appaloosa Ballet. But why? Add supporting details because of mysterious behaviors. But what mysterious behaviors? I would say sudden harassment, insanity, and bullying. Those are what could be considered mysterious behavior. The fifth technique is true opinions, mostly based on others' thoughts. This is where gathering intel is needed, like giving a reason why they think the person's a killer. They would say, oh, it's because of their hobbies, and others might say, oh, it's because of the schedule. They don't have an alibi or something like that. But the main purpose is just mostly based on others' opinions. The last technique, or on the other hand, is true observation. It is based on what you have seen personally, not from others. For example, the possible method of murdering the victim, but you are only basing it on your thoughts on the aftermath of the crime scene since you cannot determine on what actually happened there just through observation. It is mostly based on what you, the person, has seen. So, in order for me to explain and elaborate, I would say something like this. Based on the crime scene, it is possible that the following scenarios might have happened here. Then, here are a few examples, of course. It is possible that the culprit kicked the victim from behind, then stabbed them with a weapon. Or maybe the culprit might have used an object to puncture from behind instead. That is all for exemplification. My hat disappeared, probably fell falling off, so... Anyways, so that is all for exemplification. Using the different techniques can assist you in your future cases.
I guess I can see using those techniques. Maybe I can try them now.
Okay, so let's have a mini test on exemplification. Flip the next page. Detect the test.
So for today's Cocky Detective test of the day, we'll be answering this exercise all about exemplification.
So this is a mini test, huh? Let's test my knowledge on exemplification. Tell me whether the following techniques of exemplification is a visual illustration, a fact, an anecdote, a detail, an opinion, or an observation. Let's answer.
So, number 1. Proposal of having air conditioning installed because of the climate in Salem. What is the answer? The answer is a fact, because the climate in Salem is hot, and since it is known that in Salem that is very hot there, we can but we know that air conditioning is needed, so it is a fact. Number 2, two-sided stories whether to arrest a suspect at the academy. The answer is an opinion, because you are listening to two people's opinion on whether to arrest the suspect. Number 3, a sign with pictures stating possible dangers in Sun Lake. The answer is a visual illustration because it is shown visually through pictures. The possible signs of werewolf syndrome in the Whitemoor Manor. The answer is observation because you are seeing the signs of werewolf syndrome. Well, it could also be opinion from another perspective, but we'll be answering observation because it is based on what you saw. The last question, you witnessing signs of a sea monster on Illusion Island. The answer could be opinion, but remember this, you are the one who was witnessing it. So the answer is observation because then again, you are witnessing the signs of a sea monster present on Illusion Island.
Correct! All correct! That is it for this Cocky Detective lesson for today. I hope you learned something about exemplification.
We'll be reviewing next time. Bye!